Also, you might see my friend like passing by in a second, so
All
there'll
good.
be another person here. Um, Okay, so we're recording. So first of all, thank you so much for coming on to WGMU. And I'm so excited to be talking to you. I'm with Kyle Hume, who is co-headlining a show with the Astronomers at Jammin Java on March 5th, which is tomorrow. So here's a reminder to enter the giveaway that we have on our socials currently. There's not much more time to enter, so get excited. So you originally did not plan to pursue songwriting and music as a career. You studied science at the University of Kentucky, if that's correct. But as per your Spotify bio, you felt like you were missing something. So how would you describe this feeling, and how did you realize that the missing piece of your life was making music?
Yeah, that's actually a really funny question because I feel like I, growing up, was the type of kid that had to have like a million different hobbies.
Hmm.
Like I would bounce around from thing to thing, and I would just get kind of like bored with something once I felt like I kind of accomplished something with it.
Hmm.
And so I feel like that played a lot into like my decision making of like, okay, what am I not gonna get bored of if I stick with it long enough?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I ended up, it was my senior year of college, my second semester, and I had done two internships with my computer science degree pursuing that, and I kind of realized that at least like I had a job set up, but it wasn't a company that was going to be exciting for me. I just knew I was going to get caught up in like the 9 to 5 of that job specifically that I did
Mhm.
not like. I was like, this is not what I want to do. I either want to go work for some really cool tech company or do something else or whatever. And I had always like I felt like I had gotten to the point where I was like decent at music at that point. And I was like, you know what? Well, let's at least give it a shot. Um, because I had, it's probably like a year before that my internship got pushed back. And so
Mhm.
I actually ended up writing and recording my first song like in a pop type feel with my own vocals and everything on it. I was like, okay, I feel like for a first song, this could have been a lot worse. And so I ended up just like experimenting a little bit in music and making some stuff, putting some stuff out. But that senior semester was the one where I was like, okay, you know what? I know I don't want to go just work some normal, like something that doesn't excite me. I don't want to just get caught up in that. And my friend was like, well, if you want to try music, you should definitely get on TikTok. And so that second semester, I just like committed to really going all out and doing everything I could and seeing if I could at least make some kind of progress on something with music, and ended up just working out. So it's like it's funny because I think that the I ended up knowing that music would be the thing because it just worked. I don't know. I don't have this like grand, oh, I always wanted to be an artist and like music is everything to me. Like I didn't have one of those moments, where it's like
Mhm.
music or die. It was, oh, this is actually a really good choice for me to try to pursue right now. There
Yeah.
wasn't a ton of risk involved in it, which is great, honestly, but definitely a very different field than like a lot of the stories you hear from like 25 years ago, where it's like I had nothing
It
going
was
for
really
me, but
calling to me,
yeah,
and yeah.
yeah, it was like, oh, I actually have some things kind of working out for this, so it kind of makes sense to give it a try while I
Mhm.
can.
Yeah, and anything to get out of the corporate 9 to 5, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even hate the corporate 9 to 5 necessarily. It was just like the company was not going to be an exciting one to work for.
Hmm.
So, you
Just out
know,
of curiosity, like, would you ever go back to computer science, or like, would you ever like do that on the side, or like
uh,
anything?
it would have to be something that really, like, for instance, I had to rebuild my website to get everything ready for this tour. So, like, I was
Mhm.
coding and programming for that, and I had no intention of having to do that, but it ended up having to be the case because there was some weird stuff getting things switched over and everything. So, it pops up here and there. If there's something like super exciting that I could ever do,
Hmm.
maybe I don't know. But right now, music's for sure the only thing I'm focused on. So.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. You talked about TikTok a little bit, and like what like compelled you to start making music. But how did you like find your sound on TikTok? And how would you like describe your experience with like posting your music to TikTok, like at the height of the pandemic?
Yeah. So finding my sound is a funny thing because I feel like I'm still doing that. And I feel like TikTok kind of made that a lot harder
Hmm.
because instead of like me starting my music career by just making music that nobody's hearing, I'm making music that like a lot of people are having the chance to hear and give feedback on. And it's really easy to let likes and follows and those numbers kind of influence what you want to do. And so I definitely think that honestly had like a negative impact on finding my sound, but a really good impact on like me being able to do this for full time.
Yeah.
So it definitely made that progress or that like the process of that, I guess, a lot more difficult and still a lot more difficult because it's always easy to get caught up in that. Um, yeah, I don't. It's definitely hard. I feel like I said, I'm just now kind of stepping into figuring out what exactly I want that sound to be.
Yeah. So to continue along that train of thought, while you released like a lot of things during the pandemic, If I Would Have Known, released in 2021, is your biggest song to date with over 51 million streams, which is an insane number to think about. So can you kind of describe how you felt? Like you said, like you're not creating music that like no one's hearing. It's like you're creating music that a lot of people are going to be
Yeah.
hearing. So can you like describe your like thought process and like how you felt when your videos and songs started getting all those like hundreds and thousands of views?
Yeah. Also, I apologize. You have to forgive me. I'm a little stuffy and everything. So sorry if I keep
Don't even worry.
like
I
a
like just
mouth.
got over something. Yeah.
All of us on the tour have a little bit of something right now that we're
It
fighting.
happens.
Uh, yeah, that one was crazy because it was one of those where I kind of started off on TikTok. The way I got a lot of traction was I would write songs based off people's comments. And so
Hmm.
somebody would leave a comment, can you write a song about XYZ? I'd find
Hmm.
one that I like, write a little snippet, make a video, post it, see what happens.
Hmm.
Um, Great for getting songwriting reps in, not great for writing your own music.
Yeah.
But one day somebody left a comment that said, can you write a song about never getting to say goodbye? And I really think twice about it. I just thought it was a good idea.
Hmm.
So, I mean, in my college room, I just wrote the chorus for If I Would Have Known, not really thinking too much about it, posted it. And then that video got like, I think like 6 or 7 million views, which that was easily probably my biggest video to date at that time.
Hmm.
And I was like, I didn't really think too much of it because like, oh, that's really cool. I had no, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out the music industry now, but like back then, I had no idea what I was doing. Realistically, I should have like finished that song up right away, put it out. Like I didn't know what I was doing. And so it was like 3 months later, I was at the lake with my family and some family friends, and I don't have any service out there, but every once in a while you get like a little pop up where your data all loads in and everything. And
Yeah.
I'd see on TikTok, it's like I keep getting tagged in this video of this kid in this blue hoodie, and like the video won't load, so I can't tell what it is.
Hmm.
But eventually I get some good service, and it's a video of this guy that had taken a song and done like a voice, like a lip sync video to it, where he's
Hmm.
like fake crying or something. I don't know. It's like his niche of videos that he does.
Okay.
But he's like fake singing along to it or whatever. And it does like over 20 million, maybe close to 30 million views.
Hmm.
And it just takes the song and launches it. And so got back home, wrapped up the song, got it out. But that was definitely the first experience of like, whoa, like there's a crazy amount of people out there that can listen to your music if the right things happen. And like honestly, that's I feel like that's just like a song because I didn't want to put it out at first because I was like, this has I don't relate to this in any way. I
Yeah.
lost somebody close to me since I was like really, really young, like a great grandmother that I wasn't even like that. I hadn't had one
Yeah.
of those moments in my life.
Hmm.
And so it was one of those where I was like, okay, I feel like I need to put this out for everybody else because I'm getting so many comments of like, I need the song, I need the song, I need the song. And so I don't know, I kind of had this realization. It's like, sometimes I feel like maybe it's like God gives you songs to help other people heal, and it's not you. Like it's for the rest of the people out
Yeah.
there. So I was like, okay, I feel like I just need to honor all of these people that keep messaging me asking for the song to come out and put it out. So
Yeah.
pretty wild story. And it's like the amount of times it shows that that's definitely one of the biggest things people come up and it's like that song meant so much to me. I lost this person, whatever. And it's just like surreal because thinking that I wrote that song, like I
Yeah. Like
never,
on a whim too.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's such a strange feeling that I don't think I'll ever really get used to.
Yeah. No, that's like I feel like you just keep telling me like all these like crazy stories. It's like I don't know, like you couldn't like fathom that like as you were saying like what like 25 years ago. It's like the music
Yeah.
industry is so crazy now, and it's like how do you even like you're getting a like comment telling you to make a song and then it's getting like millions and millions of listens and views and comments and stuff like that. Like that's insane.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing. It doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, totally agree. But going off that, so like if you were like say signed by like a major label or something, like I don't think you would be able to take all those creative liberties and kind of have those experiences. And you've turned down every label because you want to have that freedom. So how has being an independent artist shaped your music and your songwriting?
Both for the better, the better and the worse for sure. It's I think it's been really good because like I started writing music post 2020. Like so it's not even been it wasn't even the last decade it's this decade. So I'm
Yeah.
still really new to it. And I
Hmm.
think that because of that, if I had signed a record deal way too early, they would have signed me for the sound that they knew me.
Hmm.
So probably like realistically at that point, piano ballads, because I had If I Would Have Known and 23 and Better Off with like those slow songs. And I'm like, I don't really think I want to get on stage and sing these for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I want to have a fun show. This isn't the music that I listen to myself. So it's like I kind of had to experiment, but it was so weird because I was finding my sound
Hmm.
while putting it out for the masses to hear.
Yeah.
And so I think if I would have signed early on, I would never have had the experience of like figuring out what it is I want to make. And so that's definitely like the blessing. But I think part of the like what a label is really good for with a young artist is if you have a good A&R. And the thing is, there's not a lot of great A&Rs that we talked to,
Yeah.
really. And it's just like a bunch of people that wanted to do music themselves and it didn't work out. And so it's like they're trying to put their creative vision into your music.
Hmm.
But like if you have a great A&R at a label, like that's game changer. And so I think that part of the problem was like I was getting a lot of traction online during a time when the music industry was really shifting and the labels didn't know what to do and you're getting these just junk deals thrown at you.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the world like you know what I'm making off of the music as an independent artist. You work at the label. Why are you giving me this dollar amount when you know that's never even going to remotely attract me to sign?
Yeah.
And so, like, I tell people this all the time. It's like, there's so much money in the music industry.
Hmm.
And it's crazy how like, for instance, even a small tour like we're on, how much money it takes to put it on and how much money you're pulling in. It's like, yeah, you can pull in a ton of money from this, but you have to put in a ton of money to make it work. And you probably won't even break even. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just so crazy how much money there is floating around and all these labels are just offering up these junk deals and it's like if you truly believe in an artist like throw some cash at them, find
Yeah.
A&R and figure out how to develop them well, but it just didn't seem like that was really happening. So I don't know, I think that it's probably starting to like settle down a little bit now that we've gotten over that 2 or 3 year hump of like
Like
there's
what's going
probably
on?
10 times more artists on
Yeah.
Spotify and Apple Music now than there were 10 years ago,
Yeah.
if not more. So I think that we've finally gotten to the point where maybe it could be a little bit more valuable for a new person starting out.
Hmm.
They can get that label behind them to do it. But like for the time being, it just didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think you kind of got into the industry at like a really, I mean, we've said it so many times, but like a really crazy time where it's like you really don't need like a label or like any major backing behind you. And I kind of shifted the idea of like
Yeah.
emerging artists and like music as we know it.
Yeah.
So it like if you if you never wanted a label, like I feel like you could do perfectly fine, just like social media, word of mouth, the listeners you already have and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, you're not gonna go to like mainstream radio if
Yeah.
you don't have at least some type of deal. And
Hmm.
it sure does make like things like touring and all that. Like, there's a lot of benefit you can get from a label,
Hmm.
but only if you are signing the right deal and working with the right people. And
Yeah.
so, like, I'm not opposed to a deal at all. It's just the right people and the right deal never came by.
Hmm.
And however many deals came by, it's like saying no to every single one of them was the right decision. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of moving on to like you're an independent artist in like the like label like way, but you have been collaborating with the Astronomers, and you released Half Bad with them in October of last year. So how did you guys begin working together, and what was it like collaborating with them?
Yeah, so they DM'd me forever ago, and it was when my stuff was kind of blowing up a little bit. And so I was getting a lot of DMs from a bunch of people. And it was like hard to kind of go through a lot of it because I don't love social media. I don't love spending a ton of time on it and everything.
Hmm.
I don't have to. And because I just get trapped, I'll scroll forever. And
Yep.
so I was going through my DMs. And I think I just like had opened it at one point and not really thought twice about it or whatever because I didn't know who they were yet.
Hmm.
And then it was a little bit later, they like popped up in my feed on Spotify. I think it was
Hmm.
like either overthinking or or skywalking one of their bigger songs. I was like, oh, these
Hmm.
guys are pretty good. And I was like remembering, it's like I think I DM'd them or so, I don't know. It's something weird. And I went back and looked and was like, oh, I opened up a message and never got back to them.
Hmm.
That's rough. And so I DM'd them and I was like, hey, so sorry,
My
y'all.
bad. Didn't mean it.
I did not respond to this.
Yeah.
And I just hit him up. I was like, y'all's stuff is cool. I'd be down to make something. And so the rest just kind of took off from there.
Do you have like a favorite production memory of the song or like of memory of touring with them or anything?
Yeah. And I mean, when we were finishing up the song, I flew up to where they live in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Hmm.
So I flew into Milwaukee and they picked me up. We spent like a couple of days out there. And that was just honestly a ton of fun. They're really good hang. So that was fun. Tour's been a lot of fun, but yeah, all around good memories.
I love it. You also released Never Know just last month. So can you tell us a little bit about like the song, its meaning, its production, anything about it?
Yeah, for sure. So I love writing songs that have like kind of a weird element to them in some way, or something that just doesn't, something that feels a little creative. And so I have a couple of love songs where it feels like it's not going to be a love song until the chorus. So it's like setting it up for something that doesn't, it feels like it's not going in the right direction. And then, oh, okay.
Mhm.
And so that was honestly just the inspiration, I guess, behind. I think we came up with the chorus idea first, just like hitting a melody with it. Over I think that little beat. Like I made that little beat and we just started kind of freestyling something to it and found it and we just wrote the rest of the song. And it was with so I like work consistently with two or three writers in Nashville. And I started it with one of them, and then we brought we brought one of the others in to like help on the verses and everything. But it was pretty smooth. I mean, it's not some like crazy heartfelt, here's why I wrote this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, I have this cool idea for a love song.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, it's good, it's simple, it works.
Yeah. I mean, that's me.
Um,
Sometimes it's not something that just like,
yeah. No, I think like that's what we've established. It's like it doesn't always
yeah.
have to be like, like groundbreaking, like earth-shattering, like it works,
I
you know?
mean, espresso,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
telling me, no, she just had a dope idea for
Yeah.
a song. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It doesn't have to be so profound every time.
Yeah. Doesn't have
Yeah.
to.
Do you have any other projects that you're currently working on that you can share with us?
Yeah, I've got probably like I've probably like 4 or 5 singles that are ready that I'm gonna be releasing over the next little bit. I wanted to kind of put a pause on it while I was touring, and so I got
Hmm.
some of those. Working on something a little bigger, coming probably towards the end of the year, maybe
Okay.
a little bit earlier than that. Can't share too much on that,
Okay.
but yeah, we got some things up. We got some things up our sleeves.
Okay. So much to come. Very
Yeah,
it's
lots
gonna
of
be a
fun.
big year. Yeah.
Always more music. So
Yeah. Super exciting.
yeah.
So to look at like the bigger picture, not to get like too broad, but what is your like ultimate goal or something that you really want to achieve in your music career, or just like your vision for where you're going from here?
Yeah. I think it's kind of multifaceted. I think that the biggest thing is it's funny because I have a song called Happy, but it's like at the end of the day, I just want to be happy. And if I'm not happy making music, why am I doing it?
Hmm.
So I think that's kind of always the main focus of like, what do I need to do to keep music fun and
Hmm.
to keep enjoying making it? And I mean, seeing like the numbers go up and all that's always great, but at the end of the day, like if I'm not having fun, then what's the point of even doing it?
Mhm.
So that's kind of the big goal. And I think also like, yeah, it'd be great to have another song do really well. And it'd be great to have some shows start selling out and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like if I'm not feeling great with it, then it's no reason.
Yeah, whatever keeps you happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So the last question that I like to ask all of the people that we interview is, do you have any advice for like our like college age listeners or just college age people in general that you wish you had someone tell you?
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it was in college when I started
Yeah.
taking a chance on doing this. I don't know. I think that like it is possible now more than ever in history to do the thing that you want to do. And I think you just need to do it. Like if you want to go work a 9 to 5 corporate job and work your like do it. Like nobody and don't feel bad about it.
Hmm.
And if you want to go try to start your own company, do it. And you will find the time if it's something you really care about doing to try and make it work. Like if I will always look at somebody's time priorities and it's like, oh, I really want to do this. I'm like, then why are you not? You spend no time working on it. So I don't think you actually want to do it. I think you like the idea of it. And
Hmm.
so if there's something that you actually want to try, especially in college, like you you think you're busy in college because I remember thinking I was so busy. You are not busy in college. Once the real world, like I say the real world, college is the real world, but like once you get out of college, so many things are just calling for your attention all the
Mm.
time. And it was like my senior year, I was studying computer science online, working 2 different part-time jobs to pay for my housing and my food and all that stuff. And every single day making a TikTok video, writing something from scratch, filming it all like
Hmm.
every single day. And I still had time to figure out some other stuff too. So it's like just get after it. Like figure out your priorities. And honestly, like and music became more of a priority than school for me. That last semester, it's like, okay, then I need to spend more time on this than I am on school.
Hmm.
But I also need to keep my grades up because who knows if this thing's going to work. And so it's like finding that balance but figuring out how to get after it. Like there's always a way to figure out how to get after it. So just do it.
Fantastic advice. Honestly, like I needed to hear that too every day. I'm like, I have no time, I have no time, but like I gotta make time for the things I want to do.
If you
Um,
really want to see how much time you have, get on your phone and check your screen time.
that felt like personally targeted. I don't know.
Like
My screen time is so
I mean,
bad.
everybody wants to say they have no time and they get on their phone, they have 4 hours of screen time. It's like, all right, you probably need 30 minutes of screen time
Yep.
realistically a day to get the things done on your phone you have to do. There's 3.5 hours you have to work on your passion project. So
Yep. So that was great advice, not just for me, but I think for everyone that's going to be listening to this. And that was it. Do you have anything else that you want to share to our listeners?
if you haven't yet, grab your tickets, come see the show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
lot of
no, for
fun.
sure. And again, check out our giveaway on our Instagram and go see their show tomorrow at Jammin Java in Vienna. It's going to be super awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and largely WGMU. It's been a pleasure.
No,
And I
pleasure's
hope
all
your
mine.
show is amazing, and I hope the rest of your tour is amazing, and I hope that your singles do well and everything works out for you this year.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting you. Pleasure's all mine.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye. I'm gonna stop recording.